Hi friends, this video is to help the students pursuing medical and medical allied courses. Today we'll talk about movements of gastrointestinal tract, chapter 43, Symbologums, book part 1. Important questions for examination and frequently asked viva questions are delivered at the end of the video. New terminologies and concepts out of the area are done after the reading. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel for the follow-up. In this chapter, we talk about mastication, deglutition, movements of stomach, filling and emptying of stomach, vomiting, movements of small intestine, movements of large intestine, defecation, evacuation of gases. Mastication. Mastication or chewing is the first mechanical process in the gastrointestinal or GI tract, in which the food particles are torn or cut into small pieces and crushed or grounded into small soft balls. Significance are breakdown of food substances into smaller particles, mixing of saliva with food substance thoroughly, lubrication and moistening of the food particles by saliva so that the bolus can be easily swallowed, appreciation of taste of food. Muscles of this mastication are masseter muscle, temporal muscle, pterygoid muscle, buccinator muscle. Movements involved are opening and closure of mouth, rotational movement of jaw, protraction and retraction of jaw. Control of mastication. Action of mastication is mostly a reflex process. It is carried out voluntarily also. The center for mastication is situated in medulla and cerebral cortex. Muscles of mastication are supplied by the mandibular division of fifth cranial, that is trigeminal nerve. Deglutition. Deglutition or swallowing is the process by which food moves from mouth into the stomach. Stages of deglutition. Deglutition occurs in 3 stages. Oral stage, when the food comes from mouth into the pharynx. Pharyngeal stage, when the food moves from pharynx to the esophagus. Esophageal stage, when the food moves from esophagus to the stomach. Oral stage or the first stage, the deglutition is voluntary. In this stage, the bolus from the mouth passes into the pharynx by means of series of action. What are the series of action involved? First one, the bolus is placed over posterior dorsal surface of the tongue. It is called the preparatory position. Secondly, the anterior part of the tongue is retracted and depressed. Thirdly, posterior part of the tongue is elevated and retracted against the hard palate. This pushes the bolus backward into the pharynx. Fourth, the forceful contraction of the tongue against the palate produces a positive pressure in the posterior part of the oral cavity. You can see here the pharyngeal stage or the second stage. I hope it is clear. Pharyngeal stage, it is an involuntary stage. In this stage, the bolus is pushed from the pharynx into the esophagus. Pharynx is a common passage for food and air, as we all know. It divides into larynx and esophagus. Larynx lies anteriorly and continues as the respiratory passage. Esophagus lies behind the larynx and continues as GI tract. Since pharynx communicates with the mouth, nose, larynx, and esophagus during the stage of deglutition, bolus from the pharynx can enter into 4 parts: back into mouth, upward into nasopharynx, forward into larynx, downward into the esophagus. However, due to various coordinated movements, bolus is made to enter only to the esophagus. Entrance of bolus through other paths is prevented. How is it prevented? See, if the food go back to the mouth, this is return of the bolus back into the mouth. This is prevented by position of tongue against the soft palate, that is the roof of the mouth. High intraoral pressure developed by the movement of the tongue. Now, upward into the nasopharynx is another chance of food going. The movement of bolus into the nasopharynx from the pharynx is prevented by elevation of the soft palate against its extension called the uvula. Now, the chance of food going forward into the larynx. Movement of bolus into the larynx is prevented by approximation of the vocal cords. forward and upward movement of larynx, downward movement of epiglottis to seal the opening of the larynx, that is glottis. And all these movements arrest respiration for a few seconds. This is called deglutition apnea. When we respire and eat at the same time, we cough. This is due to some malfunction where few particles of the food enters indirectly into the respiratory tract, and this is very dangerous. Apnea, it refers to the temporary arrest of breathing. During deglutition, this is happening, or it is also called the swallowing apnea. This is to arrest the breathing during the pharyngeal stage of deglutition. So just remember, this is during the pharyngeal stage. Now, entrance of bolus into the esophagus. As the other three parts are closed, the bolus has to pass only through the esophagus. This occurs by the combination of effects. They are upward movement of larynx stretches the opening of pharynx, esophagus. Simultaneously, upper 3 to 4 centimeter of esophagus relaxes. This part of the esophagus is formed by the sarcopharyngeal muscle, and it is called the upper esophageal sphincter or pharyngoesophageal sphincter. At the same time, peristaltic contractions start in the pharynx due to the contraction of the esophageal muscle. The pharyngeal muscle. Elevation of the larynx also lift the glottis away from the food particle or the food passage. All the factors above mentioned together work in a coordinated manner so that the food only goes to the esophagus. Now the third phase or the last phase, esophageal phase or the third phase. It is involuntary stage. In this stage, food from the esophagus enters the stomach. Esophagus forms the passage of movement of bolus from pharynx to the stomach. Movements of esophagus are specifically organized from this function for this function, and the movements are called peristaltic waves. This peristaltic means the wave of contraction followed by a wave of relaxation of the muscle fibers of the GI tract, which travel in arboreal direction, that is away from the mouth. By this type of movement, the contents are propelled down along the GI tract. When the bolus reaches the esophagus, the peristaltic wave is initiated. Usually, there are two types of peristaltic contractions produced in the esophagus: primary peristaltic contraction, secondary peristaltic contraction. What is primary peristaltic contraction? When bolus reaches the upper part of the esophagus, the peristalsis starts. This is known as primary peristalsis. And after origin, the peristaltic contraction passes down through the rest of the esophagus, propelling the bolus towards the stomach. Pressure developed during the primary peristaltic contraction is important to propel the bolus. Initially, the pressure becomes negative in the upper part of esophagus. This is due to the stretching of the closed esophagus by the elevation of the larynx. But immediately the pressure becomes positive and increases up to 10 to 15 cm of H2O. Now coming to secondary peristaltic contractions. If the primary peristaltic contractions are unable to propel the bolus into the stomach, the secondary peristaltic contractions appear and push the bolus into the stomach. Secondary peristaltic contractions are induced by the distension of the upper esophagus by the bolus. After origin, these contractions pass down like the primary contractions, producing a positive pressure. And here there is a role for the lower esophageal sphincter, an important role. Let's see what it is. Distal 2 to 5 cm of the esophagus acts like a sphincter, which is it is also called lower esophageal sphincter. It is constructed always. When bolus enter this part of the esophagus, the sphincter relaxes so that the contents enter the stomach. After entry of the bolus into the stomach, the sphincter constricts and closes the lower end of the esophagus. The relaxation and constriction of the sphincter occurs in sequence with the arrival of peristaltic contractions of esophagus. Deglutition reflex. Though the beginning of swallowing is a voluntary act, later it becomes involuntary and is carried out by a reflex action called deglutition reflex. It occurs during the pharyngeal and esophageal stages. Where is the stimulus? When the bolus enters the oropharyngeal area, the receptors present in this area are stimulated. Afferent fibers. Afferent impulses from the oropharyngeal receptors passes via the glossopharyngeal nerve fibers to the deglutition center. Deglutition center is at the floor of the fourth ventricle in the medulla oblongata of brain. Afferent fibers. Impulse from deglutition center travel through glossopharyngeal and vagus nerves, parasympathetic motor fibers, and reach soft palate, pharynx, and esophagus. The glossopharyngeal nerve is concerned with the pharyngeal stage of swallowing. The vagus nerve is concerned with esophageal stage. Response. The reflex causes upward movement of soft palate to close nasopharynx and upward movement of larynx to close the respiratory passage so that the bolus enters the esophagus. Now the peristalsis occur in esophagus, pushing the bolus into stomach. We'll talk about applied physiology in the next video. That's all for part 1. We will continue with part 2 in the coming video. Make sure to comment and share your information and suggestions in the comments below. Thank you.